The original Xbox, where it all began, is now 22 whole years old, but thanks to backwards compatibility, you can actually play loads of your favourite OG Xbox games on your Xbox Series X, and you know what? Some of them get a serious upgrade. So here are a rundown of some of the best ones. Morrowind, the third entry in the Elder Scrolls series, has always been a bit of a fan favourite, largely thanks to how freeform it is. But it also kickstarted the modern RPG era for Xbox gamers. The emphasis here is really on exploring the game's vast open world and just doing whatever the hell you wanted, whether that means becoming an all-powerful wizard, hunting down some legendary monsters, or just robbing everyone in plain sight. On the Xbox Series X, you get to explore the game's vast world with basically no load times, which makes traversing it a way smoother experience and makes you truly feel like you can wander off in whatever direction the wind takes you, just as the developers always intended. Oh, speaking of developers, by the way, Bethesda are currently cooking up more open world action RPG goodness for us to enjoy, with both the Elder Scrolls 6 and the first DLC for Starfield, titled Shattered Space, in the works. And naturally, a Game Pass membership gets you full access to all of Bethesda's wonderful worlds if you do fancy a great looking blast from the past. Now, Rare Limited are another Xbox game studio who are working on some wonderful stuff, from the ongoing adventures of Sea of Thieves and the mysterious Everwild. But their classic titles are looking pretty fantastic as well. The delightfully crude cartoon platformer Conker's Bad Fur Day already got a nice graphical upgrade with Live and Reloaded, and it's even more vibrant on the Series X thanks to Auto HDR. Although that may actually be more shades of brown than we really needed to see. Their Haunted House adventure, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, also got a lovely remaster as part of the Rare Replay collection, which is available on Game Pass and now runs at a slippery smooth 60 FPS on the Series X. Indiana Jones loves a lost treasure, and his own 2003 adventure, The Emperor's Tomb, certainly fits that category, featuring head-scratching puzzles as well as a nice mixture of snappy gunplay and good old-fashioned Nazi punching. The Emperor's Tomb is one of indie's finest video game outings, and with Auto HDR sprucing up the colours, it really does belong in a museum. However, the title of Best Indiana Jones Game Ever might just be up for grabs again too, with Machine Games' upcoming release, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, a first-person affair that's set to arrive later this year, and it's shaping up very nicely indeed. Bioware's 2005 action-adventure game, Jade Empire, is one of those titles that just seemed way ahead of its time when it first came out, and now in 4K at 60 FPS and with HDR thrown in for good measure, it looks right at home on the Xbox Series X. Set in a world inspired by Chinese mythology, Jade Empire lets the player take part in spectacular martial arts battles as they fight to save their master, ideally without turning into a complete monster along the way. And Bioware are going to be testing our moral compasses all over again with the next installment in their fantastic fantasy series, Dragon Age. The new game, Dreadwolf, is going to be fully revealed this summer. I'm sure we're going to have some thoughts about that one, so make sure you subscribe and ring the bell if you want to hear all about the Dreadwolf news. Psychonauts is a cult classic 3D platformer that takes you right inside the minds of its kooky cast of characters. So it's safe to say you'll be visiting some very interesting places. From circuses made of meat to Napoleonic board games, these mental worlds really are wild, and they all look absolutely sublime running in 4K on the Xbox Series X. Honestly, you really couldn't imagine a crazier, more colourful, more hilarious game. And actually, you don't have to imagine one either, because Double Fine already made one, and it's called Psychonauts 2, and it's absolutely incredible, and it's on Game Pass as well. It really feels like a long time ago we were in a galaxy far, far away, shooting our way from Coruscant to Kashyyyk in the Star Wars Battlefront games. And the recently released Classic Collection bundles together both games and adds in the option for 64-person online multiplayer. But two of my own personal favourite RPGs of all time have to be Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Both of which you can play with back compat and are still just as good as you remember. I think it might actually be a better twist than when we found out who Vader really was. But if you're looking for a Star Wars experience that was custom built for this console generation, well, keep an eye out for this year's third-person actioner, Star Wars Outlaws. Those first three Splinter Cell games, the OG Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory, are all available on Xbox Series X via backwards compatibility, and they're looking slicker than ever. Playing in 4K doesn't just give you a more cinematic experience as you sneak, slide, and strangle your way through three amazing stealth action titles, but it also gives you an added bit of visual clarity, which can make all the difference when you're trying to remain undetected. And if you get those stealthy muscles warmed back up with the original games, you're going to be ready for your next mission when Ubisoft's brand new remake arrives sometime in the future. What about you lot? What OG Xbox games have you enjoyed booting up on the Xbox Series X? Hit the comments to let us know, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!